Hi, folks, and welcome into the Champion Sports Radio District 6-5A football preview. Along with Ryan Mueller, I'm Thomas Lee, and this is one of the most competitive, exciting, and maybe hard-hitting districts in the entire state of Texas. And it's going to be very difficult for us to announce who we have as all of our different winners, but we're going to get through it. We're going to start out with defensive MVP of the district. And we can't do it. We're going to do co-MVPs because we just don't know. These two young men are really separated themselves as being real linchpins in what their defensive intensity is going to bring to their teams. And they're two teams that are going to fight for the district crown just like they have last year and like both of these two teams have for several years. I, of course, am talking about the future Texas Tech defensive end from the Carroll Dragons, Jackson Richards, and the defensive tackle from the Hebron Hawks, Michael Odiari. Those two players are going to be so important. They're going to shape the entire landscape of the district with what they can do defensively.
And offensive player of the year has got to go with South Lake Carroll quarterback David Pilon. I mean, you look at the numbers he put up, over 1,000 yards passing and 12 touchdowns when he came in halfway through the season to replace the injured Kyle Padron. So 3 offensive linemen returned for the Carroll Dragons, and then you have, of course, Tommy Avers, who is ever so special in the backfield. So for David Pilon to have all those assets back, it's really, really going to be key for him to put up some big points for the Carroll Dragons.
Even though they're replacing those receivers, the receivers seem to grow on trees in Carroll over the last 10, 15 years and so forth. The district MVP, well, it's really not that much of a surprise. At least it won't be once they start playing games. Stephen Hopkins from Marcus. You're thinking the great running back, he's going to Michigan, he's going to be spectacular. This year, he's going to get about 20 snaps, 20 carries on offense running the ball. He's also going to be the middle linebacker on defense. I think he is going to be the most impactful player of anybody, and a lot of that has to do with his ability, with his coaching, and also, Ryan, which is the fact that he's going to be playing both sides of the ball, which gives him a bigger impact and becomes the district MVP.
Yeah, and that leads right into the 4 top teams. Marcus has got to be one of them, Thomas. I mean, you look at Brian Irwin's success he's had already, and they've got, like you said, both sides of the ball going to be very, very strong, led by Hopkins, and then, of course, the defensive lineman, Daniel Noble. You've got Hebron in the mix as well. They always have a tough defense. Just see 4 years ago when they won the 4A state title. So other names to mention, Coppell would be another team that would advance because of Joe McBride and his success that he's bringing to the program. And, of course, the Carroll Dragons with their juggernaut offensively and even defensively with Richards on the outside. There's a lot of potency there on both sides of the ball, and I think those 4 teams are set to make the playoffs.
This was probably the hardest thing we had to do because we both went, Flower Mound could easily make the playoffs in this district. Louisville, with Coach Olin coming in, they could really surprise some people and put some pressure on. You only have to win 3 games in the district to be eligible for the playoffs with this small 16 format. So it was begrudgingly that we put this together and got that list out of there. So the district champs, I think, it's difficult for me to say. This is the first year in 5 I have not picked the Hebron Hawks to win a district championship. Coach Brazel, I'm sorry, prove me wrong. But I got to go with the Carroll Dragons. We've talked about it. We lamented over it. We wrestled and argued about it. And it comes down to they have so much coming back, so much experience. There are too many other things that the other teams have to do to replace this year before they can compete for a district championship and win it. Now, that being said, they do have 5 non-district games. Anything can happen in these small districts. But I think the pick for Champion Sports Radio is going to be the only Champion Sports Radio team in the district. The only team that's not with Champion Sports Radio, in the district, the Carroll Dragons. So that's our District 6-5A preview. It was a tough one for us. Hope you enjoyed it. And I know you'll all enjoy the football that comes with this district once the fall rolls around. For Ryan Mueller, I'm Thomas Lee with Champion Sports Radio.